All right, back in the studio, and we have a special guest with us today, and that is 6th District Congressman Cleo Fields. Congressman, pleasure to have you with us again.
It's good to be with you, Jeff.
Listen, it's been an eventful week. I do want to start with the obvious and the most tragic, and that is the plane crash that happened up in D.C. just a couple of days ago. You said that's the airport you fly in and out of all the time when you go to Washington, so I'm sure that hit home.
Yeah, it did. I mean, most members of Congress actually fly in and out of National. And when I saw it that night, it was just chills just went down my spine. It's a tragic situation. We certainly are, in prayers for the family members who were affected. I just can't, words can't express, the tragedy.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing. And I'm sure that the National Transportation Safety Board will get to the bottom of it, find out what went wrong, fix it, and make sure it never happens again.
Well, a couple of things on that. I just heard earlier today that helicopter traffic is now being closed to that airport moving forward. So I would imagine you think that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I think that will, that will help the situation a lot. It's a bad situation. And, young people, so many young people lost their lives, tragic situation. And I just feel for the family members of those folk who perished in that very, very, very tragic incident.
Well, and I do have to ask you about the inference about DEI and that possibly being a cause. And I'm sure I think I've heard you speak on that a little bit, and just give me your thoughts.
I just think it's for anyone to reach any conclusion at this point would be, in my view, unsensitive, one, and two, just a lack of leadership. At the end of the day, we have top investigators who are out there investigating. Give them an opportunity to determine, the cause of the incident, and these family members, deserve better, but to say is DEI, I just think that's just, I don't know what you call it.
The bridge too far?
Well, it's way too far. I don't know. I don't even know if it's a bridge, but I'm sure these investigators will get to the bottom of what went wrong. Are there human factors involved? And like I said earlier, we make sure that this not happen again.
So that, unfortunately, is the way this week kind of concluded. You and I spoke at the beginning of this week, right, and that was when the president stopped a lot of funding federal funding to programs all over the country. Yeah, right. You also were not a fan of that.
Yeah, and I was right. We have, people predicted these type of actions being pursued by a president. Back in 1974, the Congress passed, the Empowerment Protection Act, which, deals with issues like this. Once Congress appropriates money, no president can unilaterally just say it's not going there. And the courts, issued an injunction. A trial a hearing rather was set for Monday, and I think the president has retreated. He rescinded the order, that portion of the order, and but so many people got it just disrupted the lives of so many people, and it was so unnecessary, But when Congress appropriate funds, the president can't just X those funds out without some, action for Congress.
I got to ask you why. Obviously you're just kind of up here making, you're doing your due diligence throughout the district, and what kind of things you've been working on?
Well, like I said, I know I sound like a broken record to you, Jeff. Early childhood education. I'm starting an education caucus in Washington. Putting emphasis on early childhood education because I really think that is the thing that can change this country. We got to intervene in children's lives early,
Yep.
And I think that'll make a big difference.
Congressman, that 5 minutes flew by.
Yeah.
We're going
Thank
to have
you.
to wrap it up here,
It's
but
always good
you and I will
seeing
go
you.
back in the office and record something for a little bit later on, okay?
right, good.
Congressman Cleo Fields, good to get his take on a very eventful week